Hey, what is up, everybody? It's Willie5K here, and today we are going to be ranking every season of Fortnite. Make sure to watch till the end because the number one spot might surprise a lot of you. Okay, so at our lowest spot, we have season 10. Season 10 was just a terrible season. To start it off, you had mechs, and mechs were just not fun. They were not good. They catered to noobs. The rockets were pretty much an instant kill for anybody. The Golden Tech SMG was also there. The Golden Tech SMG was just another one of those items that was just an instant kill. I didn't really get to use the Golden Tech SMG because I didn't play in Season 10 because I quit because of the mechs and I started playing Minecraft. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen it. It just looks terrible. I can't leave that out. Dusty Divot came back. Dusty Depot came back. Sorry, and Dusty Depot. I'm sorry, it's a terrible location. It actually sucked. The location was so bad, it was just terrible. I did like the factories coming back, though. That was really cool. I actually did like the factories. Okay, and finally in Season 10, you have the Rift Zones. They're also just, Rift Zones, who wanted a Rift Zone? Who wanted to go to the Rift Zones? Unless it was Tilted Town, which was, really, one of the best locations ever, in my opinion. Who wanted to go to Greasy Grove with Taco Time? Who wanted to go to Moisty Palms with Prop Hunt? Prop Hunt just sucked, Retail Row with the zombies. No one likes zombies. It was just a terrible season. Just a terrible season. And at our second lowest spot, we have Chapter 2, Season 1. This season, not gonna lie, actually had a really, really strong start. A really strong start. It was a great season. Everyone loved it. But they just didn't update it at all. There's, no updates. Overall, it became a bland season, because, again, no updates. There wasn't even an event, besides, the Star Wars event, but that was more just a brand deal, and, the lightsabers were okay, kind of cool, but not, insane. I did like that fishing was introduced, and also, the Slurpy Swamp. That was a really cool concept. That gave you shields. So those two were cool, but otherwise, the season just wasn't very good, It just was a bad season. Okay, so at our number 9 spot, this is going to surprise some people, but probably not many. We have Season 1, the first season of Fortnite. The sad truth about this season was it had a lot of bugs. The guns were kind of bland and basic, It had an empty map, but it did start Fortnite, and no one ever saw something like building before, so it can't be the lowest of the low, But I'm sorry, this season was just buggy, laggy. The guns were the pump, the AR, nothing innovated about the guns. And yeah, it was just, wasn't that good of a season as many people thought it was. And at our number 8 spot, we have Season 6. Honestly, I don't know. The season just honestly kind of sucked. I hate the floating island. First of all, the floating island just sucked. The worst thing was zombies. Actually, zombies were just, they were just terrible. They were just terrible. Fortnite, if you're watching this, no one likes zombies. No one. No one likes zombies. Literally no one likes zombies, okay? No one likes zombies. Also, the spam meta was still kind of in the game, it wasn't as bad, but the spam meta was still there. So, yeah, that's another thing that I don't like. The low gravity zones. Just I didn't like them, I just didn't like the low gravity zones. They're just bad. Overall, it had a good meta, though. And it also had a pretty good map besides the, floating island. And also, they probably had one of the best events, Season 6, which was the butterfly event. That was an amazing event. So, yeah, that's cool. That's great. So, yeah, Season 6, I think, has a fair ranking of 8. At our 7th spot, we have Season 5. Season 5 actually had a really great start, and it was actually really fun at the start of Season 5. But then, something called the spam meta got introduced, and for the rest of the time, it just sucked. There was inconsistent pumps, which was terrible. When your pump would do 9 damage, and then other times it would do 100 something? Yeah, that was not a good time. They also removed Moisty, which, in my opinion, was one of the better spots. But they also did, bring the desert, which I also liked. And rifts were actually a really good rotation. So this season, I would say, is kind of in-between season, And yeah, that's all for Season 5. And at our number 6 spot, we have Season 2. Season 2 was a really great season, but it has a couple things holding it back because it was a new game at the time. First of all, it still had really bland guns. Look at the player that's on the screen right now. He's a blue AR, a pump shotgun, and a bolt action sniper. Can you even get more basic? And also, they had no updates in Season 2, but that's kind of forgivable because Epic Games hasn't set, the expectation for, weekly updates. So, that's, fine, but still. It's still, the main thing is it had a lot of bugs. When I say a lot of bugs, I mean a lot of bugs. And, yeah, there's a lot of bugs in Season 2. Season 2 now had a great map. One of the best maps ever. It had just so many, just good things in the map. And, yeah, it was just a really good map for Season 2. Also, the Battle Pass and the item shop were introduced. Those are the 2 cosmetic things that are added in Fortnite. So that's cool. That's crazy. And, yeah, so that's why Season 2 is a great season. Next up, barely making it into our top 5 is Season 8. Season 8 was actually a really great season, but first, its event unvaulted the drum gun into the game and destroyed Tilted Towers and Retail Row, or the retail side. Also, in Season 8, the block destroyed Risky Reels, but Season 8 had really good mobility with the baller, the hoverboard, vents, and the volcano. And I personally love the jungle portion of the map. That was one of my favorite parts of the map to land at. Also, what puts Season 8 so high is that it had Siphon. Siphon was, the best thing ever. Honestly, it was the best. So, yeah, Season 8 was actually a really good season. Okay, so now we have Season 7. This season should have been higher. I'll say that right now. Because what really screwed the season over was the fact that it had planes and the Infinity Blade. Come on, Fortnite. Actually, you just screwed Season 7. Season 7 was actually a really good season if you, take away that. The only thing that I didn't really like about it is I didn't like where, the Ice King made the whole, map, snowy. And also, the whole event of the Ice King was really just a bad event, It wasn't a good event. So, yeah. But Season 7 did have a good meta. I like the snow corner of the map that they added. That was a really good portion of the map. And it had the best Loot Lake version. That Loot Lake was, yeah, it was just a great Loot Lake. In our top 3, at our number 3 spot, we have a really solid season, which is Season 9. Season 9 was honestly a great season. But it did have a really bad shotgun meta, and Neo Tilted just didn't hit, It just wasn't, good. Also, the combat shotgun, that's, if you like it, then you like it. If you don't, then you don't. but it did have an overall good meta, and it had the World Cup, guys. The World Cup was probably, it was the biggest esport event ever.
League of Legends World Championship Grand Final took the stands paled in comparison to the individuals who tuned in online, making it the most watched video game event in history.
Anyways, it also had really good movement with ballers, slipstreams, and hoverboards. And also, Mega Mall was a really good location, almost as good as retail. And finally, they had such a good event. Oh my god, it was just, the Cats vs. Doggers event, it was the best event ever. And at our number 2 spot, we have Season 3. Season 3 had a lot of bug fixes, it introduced backlinks, double pumps were still in the game, which you can, say yes or no to that.
Oh, 2 pumps! In case the first one missed, right? In case you can't hit me for 80, right? In case you can suck a back, right? Fuck you. Pump this game, dude. I'm banking on you guys getting fucking rid of it. I am. I'm not getting used to it because I don't want to, man. But if you're gonna leave it, then I'll use it! I'll fucking sell my soul! I'll do it!
And Season 3 had one of the best maps. I have nothing but good things to say about Season 3. And yeah, so that's your number 2 spot. And finally, in that sweet, sweet number 1 spot, we have Season 4. Season 4 was just an amazing season. It had an amazing map. It still had double pump, but it was a bit nerfed. And I really like double pump personally, so that's why, I like it. Dusty Divot was better than Dusty Depot, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, it also had the first mobility. You had shopping carts and hop rock, those are the first mobility in the game. And we all love mobility now. Also, it had the perfect meta, in my opinion. TAC SMGs were good, pumps were really good, and the Scar was top of the top. I just think it was a really good meta, and yeah. So that's the video, guys. I really hope everyone enjoyed, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of my rankings, and yeah, laters.